87.9 FM.
And there was another drive-by shooting
fire we
today
reported at
downtown.
Blue Fire Hall is still burning out of...
Do you sometimes feel confused or lost in the complications and complexities of life? Do you feel drained, listless, or exhausted or lost in the burdens and responsibilities? Why not seek our campus ministers on air every Tuesday from 2 to 3 in the afternoon? Listen to our counselors from the Loyola School's Campus Ministry Office as they ground our lives in our faith, in our school's spiritual tradition. Campus Ministers on Air. Be guided, be inspired, be blessed. Listen to our Campus Ministers on Air. Radyo Katipunan, 87.9 FM. We are now on YouTube. Watch all of our live episodes plus exclusive content in our channel at Radyo Katipunan FM. Don't forget to click subscribe and hit the bell to get the latest updates.
Jesuit Music Ministry, your daily dose of inspiration. Follow jescom.ph on Spotify and Jescom Music on YouTube. We are also on iTunes and Deezer.
Let us understand mental health and explore how we can take care of our emotional, psychological, and social well-being. Welcome to your weekly slice of mental health tips and tidbits with Pat and B here on MindEd.
Sa'yo sumisilong kapag ang puso ko'y pagod.
Radyo Katipunan, 87.9 FM. This is your stop for all things pop. Catch our all-around pop culture geek, Chola Sediaren, as he throws in some dose of what's poppin' and what's hot in the pop culture scene here on Popcorn. Munch in with us every Thursdays from 4 to 6, only here on Radyo Katipunan, 87.9 FM.
Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, radyo, Katipunan.
To listen to music that uplifts the soul, follow jescom.ph on Spotify and Jescom Music on YouTube. Our music is also available on iTunes and Deezer.
Welcome to The Rundown, where we take you right into the action with the latest sports news, updates, game previews, breakdown, and analysis in, around, across, and beyond the Ateneo. And now, let's get ready to run down! Radyo Katipunan, 87.9 FM. Follow at Radyo Katipunan in our social media accounts on Facebook, Instagram, and on Twitter. Mamangha sa lalim at ganda ng ating kultura at diwang makabayan sa mga salita at pahina. Sa tulong ng mga guro at manunulat ng panitikang Pilipino, halina't tuklasin ang yaman ng ating panitikan, ang pamana ng ating lahi. Ito ang Sari-Sari, tuwing Miyerkules, 11:00 ng umaga, dito sa Radyo Katipunan, 87.9 FM.
Jesuit Music Ministry, music that uplifts the soul. Follow Jescom.ph on Spotify and Jescom Music on YouTube. We are also on iTunes and Deezer.
Are you feeling sore? We can make that better. Tune in to the Ateneo Senior High School's first radio program, Soar, the Seniors On Air Radio, where you can listen to music you want straight from our playlists. Don't change that channel yet, because Soar is ready to put the you in youth. Soar, Seniors On Air, here on radyo-katipunan 87.9 FM.
Get your daily dose of inspiration through our music. Follow jescom.ph on Spotify and Jescom Music on YouTube.
Radyo-Katipunan 87.9 FM.
Calling on all young male professionals. Do you wish to live an extraordinary life? Are you tired of the routine and mundane and long for a dynamic, adventurous, and even dangerous life? Do you wish to make your life count and hope to make an impact long after you're gone? Do you wish to live a life of service to society, to country, and to dear Mother Earth? Then you are the one we are looking for. Consider the Society of Jesus. Join the church's gallant army and turn your world upside down. Call the Jesuits Vocations Promotions Team 426-6101, local 3406. Once again, 426-6101, local 3406.
Meron? Ano nga ba ang meron? Paano nga bang mabuhay ng tapat sa meron? Don't you wish you can relive your philo classes? The terror teachers? The terrible oral exams? Or the even terrifying but liberating and life-changing aha moments? Lundagin mo, baby! Here's your chance! Lundagin mo, baby! Kasama ang mga pilosopong sina Jovi Miroy at Ron Capinding. Lundagin mo, baby! Leaping upward, leaping forward. Lundagin mo, baby! Leaping to greater heights, to greater wisdom, to greater magis. Lundag na, Ateneo! Radyo Katipunan is now online. See our live feed on facebook.com/radyo-katipunan. Check out our Instagram and our Twitter at Radyo Katipunan. And subscribe to our YouTube channel at radyo-katipunan FM for more exclusive content.
Katipunan. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. The voice of the Blue Eagle, kami di mapipigil sa pagbabalitang tumpak at tama. Buhay atenista sa loob sa labas ng eskwela, ating ibibida lahat ng eskwela. Radyo, radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Kawal ni Ignacio, Katipunero sugo, todo sa kayod, tulong at tulong. Lipad na Blue Eagle, galing hiding at tigil, blue and white, one big fight. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, radyo, Katipunan.
Let us understand mental health and explore how we can take care of our emotional, psychological, and social well-being. Welcome to your weekly slice of mental health tips and tidbits with Pat and B. here on MindEd.
Sa'yo sumisilong kapag ang puso ko'y pagod.
Okay.
And we're on. Good evening. Welcome to MindEd, your weekly slice of mental health tips and tidbits. My name is B. I am just a letter.
Hi, and my name is Pat. What? Why did I fumble through that? Hello. Good evening. Welcome back. Oy, okay tayo 2 weeks in a row tayo. Let's keep it going next week also.
Yes.
Going for 3 naman.
We can.
Oo.
Actually, now.
It's 3 now? No, isn't it? I don't know. When?
Tama.
Yeah,
Dalawa
tama.
nga.
Second week in a row pa lang.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
Labo. Anyway, sige. Okay, let's get to you guys already know if you've read the title or the caption of this episode, but we have a special guest. He's a very, very dear friend. And so we'll get to him in a bit. Pero unahin na muna natin. Ladies first. B, kumusta ka?
Di na sumagot. Naglalag yata ako. Hello. No, heavy week. But I was ready for it. I was ready for it kasi
Okay.
I think may marami lang ako in-anticipate from last
Work-wise?
week. Work-wise, yes.
Okay.
So, quite heavy, but hopeful.
Okay.
Yes,
Heavy but hopeful.
Mhm.
Okay. Let's go with that.
And ano pa ba? May mga tinatry ulit akong the basic foundations of yoga.
Okay. So getting back into the yoga
Into
exercise.
apparently ang headstand pala basic. Foundation. One of the foundations of yoga pala siya.
Sorry naman sa basic ng pagka.
Kaya nga para ako what? Ganun.
Okay.
Sabi lang dun sa I'm reading this book again about it. It's like a refresher then for me to like center and align myself, my body to
Okay.
And I've been focusing more on core strength now.
Good. That's great.
Figuratively and literally.
Okay. Emotional core strength and like physical.
And spiritual core strength
and
as
spiritual
well.
core.
Oo, mas important yun.
That's,
Parang, madalas kaming nag-usap ni, I don't know, hindi, baka busy siya kayo. Sister Bubbles, hello, Sister Bubbles.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hi, sis.
Pinaiyak na naman niya ako.
That's her thing.
Every time. As in, my God.
Yeah.
Pero, happy tears. Happy and hopeful tears.
So happy, heavy, hopeful tears.
Puro HY.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was my week. Though feeling ko Wednesday pa lang ngayon. I don't know why.
My perception of time is also very short. I don't know what day it is today. I just know we have a show. I'm kidding.
Good.
No, that's not true.
Yeah. So we also had a teleconsult with my doctor kanina.
Mm-hmm.
And then, nakakatawa lang yung sinabi niya. Lagi mo rin sinasabi sa akin. Bawal ka ma-stress, ha? Para ako.
Yeah.
Yes.
There you go. That's it.
That's why we have a show now.
Yes. That's why,
Yeah.
you're working towards it naman, like progressively.
I am.
Eventually, you'll get to a point where you're just like, yep.
Just sleep. Sleep, natulog na lang. Hindi na gumalaw. Oo.
Yeah.
Anyway, how about you?
Ako naman, so for the first time in a long time, we had family over. So we had Chai's parents come over and her sister. Kasi for the longest time, diba, NCR Plus, NCR Pro Max, whatever, has been on lockdown. And they only eased up, I guess, like last week, I think. So, nakapunta sila, nakabisita sila, which was great because it's always great to have family around. Lately, I've been getting into coffee for some weird reason, like brewed, not instant coffee, which I know if people aren't seeing, but Kirk's like applauding because also I know he's been getting into. Actually, it's Kirk's fault kasi nakita ko para naghahanap siya ng beats. Tapos para ako, uy, okay. Parang masarap yung mga sinasuggest ng mga tao. Tapos naganap din ako ng beans. So may sasuggest din ako sa yung beans, Kirk.
Sige, mag-exchange notes tayo ng
mag-exchange notes tayo ng beans. But I've been doing like a French press. I've also been following this YouTuber who is as explained by a very enthusiast, like coffee enthusiast friend of mine.
Right.
Says he is the David Attenborough of coffee, apparently. So parang ako,
interesting.
Name drop ko na lang siya.
Link me up later.
Sige. Si James Hoffman. Panoorin niyo siya.
Okay.
Sobrang sarap
French
pakinggan. No?
press.
So French press. Actually, he's like all different types of coffee. But then, sorry. Okay. I'm not
Pero
gonna get into
ikaw, you are more French press now.
Because that's all I have eh. Parang, so yung story niyan is, for the longest time, I've been a trash coffee drinker. I've been drinking instant lang. And I would put ice and that's it. And then, yun lang. Hanggang dun lang. Tapos naubusan ako. Tapos I realized that, we had, ground coffee beans that have been sitting in our pantry for a while.
Okay.
I know that's a sin for like a lot for coffee drinkers that you should not you should drink your coffee beans within 2 months of opening the bag. But anyway, it's parang ako, okay. And I had the French press also lying out. Somebody gifted us a French press.
Okay.
When we got married. And then I realized parang I actually don't know how to use this. So nag-search ako. And then and it's been a thing ever since. It's a thing of patience. It's a very mindful process actually. So yun yung masaya.
Yeah. Gusto mo lang mas mindful?
Ano?
Na coffee. Hindi.
Hindi.
Coffee pa rin. Cold brew. Why? Okay, I will explain why.
Sige. Okay, please.
So kasi what I do, so parang there's this parang like bottle with a thin film inside. I don't know how to call it. But anyway, so you put the beans dun sa parang like film inside the bottle. And then what you do kasi when you parang siyang pour over eh.
Right.
But there's parang mas maayos daw if you like and parang iikot mo yung tubig. Ikot mo yung tubig para hindi siya yung parang drip lang na parang binuhos mo lang.
Pwede.
So, alam mo yun, parang kaya. Tapos sobrang mabagal kasi siya mag-drip talaga. So, sobrang tiyaga siya. Gagawin mo talaga. And then parang, yes. And then you have to let it sit for, I think, 16 to 20 hours.
Yes.
Before you can drink it. Ganyan. And it's fun. Tapos ginagawa ko yung, remember we had this guest on food.
Yes.
Si Miss Sabrina Artadi. Hi.
Yes. Hi. Hi, Miss Sab.
So, ginagawa ko pa rin yung isinuggest niya to put paprika sa coffee and lemon. Like, I just get a wedge of lemon, tapos pigin ko lang, a good squeeze, and then I just leave the lemon there.
Okay. Yeah.
Washed, of course.
Sarap.
It's very refreshing because it's cold brew. And then, meron ako nung 750 ml.
Yeah.
Na bottle. So,
nainom in one day, nauubos mo yan. That's a lot of coffee. PT dubs, but okay.
Ano naman yun? Hindi naman isang upuan lang yun.
I hope so.
Yes. Although kaya ko. But I can.
It's bad.
It's fun. Coffee is fun. But I drink water after because I have to we have to balance it out. Water
No, but I heard about that cold brew kind of reduces the acidity. Of coffee. So that's good. Okay.
So,
sorry, we went off on like a coffee tangent there. Oo nga eh. Wait lang, introduce muna natin yung guest kasi for the most part he's been sitting here in the Zoom
alam ko maraming coffee tips si Kirk.
Actually, nga. So maybe that's what the show is about. It's instead of kumustahan and kwentuhan, it's kapehan with Kuya Kirk. Joke lang. Sige. No, so anyway, so again, as I mentioned, Kirk Damasco is a very, very good friend, personal friend of ours, of B and of mine and my family, but also a very, very good friend of the show and of the community. Of radyo-katipunan, yes, and of jescom and of Ateneo in general. He's an all-around great guy. So welcome everybody, Kirk Damasco.
Hello.
Ayan.
Hi Pat, hi B, hi everybody. Thank you.
Hi Kirk. Thanks for being here.
No problem. Takot ko lang sa inyong dalawa.
Hindi ko nga alam kung bakit, pero sige. Wait
Game.
lang.
So yeah.
Sige, go. So, Kirk, you are live with us from Iloilo. Is that
Yes,
correct?
yes. I'm
And
currently in
Iloilo is
Iloilo.
your birth, um, what? Place of birth?
Birth, no,
Birth
birthplace,
town.
birth town. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
originally from Iloilo, so I attended elementary and high school here, and then I went to Ateneo for college.
Okay. Sige, no, that's perfect. Wala lang. It's always a fun time when I have all the chances to catch up with Kirk, even if it's just on chat. But he's a stand-up guy, and I think I just really wanted the excuse of this show to have a catch up with him because I've not caught up with him in such a long time. At least face to face or at least on the phone.
Uh,
De joke lang. Of course, no. There's a lot to be learned, I think, from Kirk. Honestly, this is gonna just be a conversation, unstructured, and pero sige, Kirk, tell us a little
oh,
bit about yourself. So grew up in Iloilo, but studied in Ateneo. What are your current preoccupations now?
aside from being the friend of B and the friend of Pat.
Yes.
No, no,
Which
no.
is a full-time job already.
No, no. So I graduated from Ateneo 2008, BS Management. Um, I'm currently doing a business. It's called GetBlued and Worship Generation. Those are two of our main brands.
Yeah.
So Ateneo will always be special because it's in Ateneo where we actually discovered the joy of doing business. We started selling in an Ateneo org, which eventually turned itself into a full-time business. GetBlued, as you guys might know, and we've been enjoying watching the game, supporting the team, and being fans of the school for a very long time. And we're missing it kasi ang tagal nang walang UAAP, ang tagal nang walang
That's true.
events, ganyan. So,
Yeah.
in the meantime, wala naman choice eh. So, magkakape na lang muna.
Ganda ng segue, I must say.
Anyway, what am I doing? I'm currently in Iloilo. I came home here January because my mom passed. And then I decided to stay to help in the family business. At the same time, parang it wouldn't be wise to go back to Manila at this point in time because ayoko nang makakontribute pa na posibleng maging isang carrier at mahawa ng COVID.
That's true. Yeah. Very wise and very prudent choice, I think. You are, I think, better off there. Much better off than we are, I guess. It's being stuck here. At least you guys get to go out and go around.
And
and
ano,
all of
Pat,
that.
D, it's a great opportunity to discover Iloilo also. Because for much of my life, because I studied and I'm based in Manila, pupunta ako dito, ano lang eh, bakasyon lang. Or pag breaks lang na sobrang iksi. But now I
Right.
get to stay, I get to, alam mo yun, I get to experience day-to-day life and bond with my cousins and with my relatives. And okay pala Iloilo.
Yeah.
That's great. Galing. Alam mo ba taga-Iloilo rin ang family ko, Pat? My
What?
dad's side, yes. In a humble town called Alimujan.
Okay.
Oh, we belong to the same congressional district.
Oh,
There's
That's it.
may joke yan eh, parang pag taga-Alimol dyan ka, sabihin, taga-Alimol ka pala.
ayun. Uwi na rin kaya ako dyan.
Na-miss mo na din ba?
Hindi kasi kami masyado talagang umuwi. Kasi parang dito na rin kasi lumaki yung lolo ko. Actually, it was
Yeah.
my lolo's side.
Yeah.
So parang, but I have second cousins there, our aunties and uncles and then so we have this clan group on Facebook. And doon lang kami nagka-catch up.
Mm-mm.
But yeah, I miss Iloilo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
we were there
I've-
pala. Last year?
Yeah.
Last year.
Yes, that's last year for Sayap.
Mm.
Wait lang, sorry. So, one of the reasons why parang it's always good or it's always like a fun time to pick Kirk's brain because for as long as I've known him, I've always seen him or I've always known him to be a man of principle. I think not a lot of people. No, well, there are a lot of people, but at least it's a special thing when you have a person in your direct circle who's whose line of work and whose passions and faith mesh with or like go hand in hand with his business. So I think that's one of the things that I wanted to maybe like really explore with Kirk today is parang like I imagine it must have been like a difficult thing to capitalize, if ever, or in a manner of speaking, to capitalize on faith and spirituality and turn it into a business. So what was that like? Or what was the mindset behind that?
Oh, you make it sound naman I'm so sobra kong bait. We just try our best. I don't know. Just to give you a background, I think Pat is referring to one of our brands, which is
Mm-hmm.
Worship Generation. So it's a brand of faith-themed merchandise. The story behind that, and to answer your question, siguro, we started Worship Generation 2013, and at that time we were already, I think, 6 years into the business of GetBlued. So we were, on the one hand, we were printing Ateneo shirts and selling it. When the opportunity to do worship generation came, from a business standpoint, it was a no-brainer because you just print Jesus or Bible verses and it's gonna fly. From what how do we say it, from school spirit to Holy Spirit yung naging trajectory nung business. But for me, I realized kasi that the reason why we enjoy GetBlued and why we generally and relatively do well with GetBlued is because we are genuinely fans of the school. We are genuinely supportive and supporters of the team. Sabi ko, if you were to do worship generation and this happens to carry messages of our faith, of the Bible, of Christianity, then it is a message that I should be able to willingly live out. I mean, for sure I will fail and for sure I will not measure up all the time or even once to the overall rules of what Christianity should be. But there should be an innate desire to do so. So I actually sought the help or the advice of my theology professor at Jesuit, si Father Bob with Consejo,
Mm-hmm.
if I should actually do it. Eh sabi niya, bakit naman hindi? Eh sabi ko kasi I might be exposed kasi to friends from a different religious circle. Eh sabi niya, ano naman yung problema doon? Kasi the goal lang naman is for us to be closer to God, to know God in a more personal way, to essentially live out in a more alive and living way or Christian witness. So sabi na, if that happens to you because of the business, and I pray it does, and there's nothing wrong with it. So yun lang for me, parang I know and I na serial entrepreneurs na ang dami, but I would be comfortable in doing a business that I can identify myself with.
Yeah. Thank you. Wow. Okay. So I guess one of the things that makes me really not resonate, but really, I guess, paano ba? Like that I admire about that is because it takes a lot of commitment. This isn't necessarily the easiest thing or one of the. It's not necessarily an easy thing to do, but there's so much value, or there's a principle behind it that you're really committing to, and yeah, and I've talked about this so many different times on the show. Na parang really, what makes life meaningful is when you're able to really live out your values, or the things that really matter to you, and commit to doing what it takes to pursue that. And it's 2021 now, so worship gen's going 8 years strong, I guess, this year, or has gone 8 years strong so far. And it's a really really big commitment. So but I don't imagine that this was easy. What were there any challenges that kind of affected you, or that really got to you on a, not even just like a from a business standpoint, but also from a spiritual and possibly even like a psychological or an emotional aspect or standpoint?
Well, when we were starting, the challenge was getting the malls and commercial spaces to notice us or to give us the space. because it was unconventional at that time to have a stall and a store in a main area of the mall that would shout being Jesus.
Yeah.
So that was hard at first. But when
Yeah.
one mall gave us a shot, then it was a little bit became a little bit easier from one mall to another because my proof of concept.
Mhm.
But if you're talking about challenges, I think the biggest challenge has been 2020, 2021.
Yes.
And I guess moving forward
Yes.
because of COVID. I was telling a friend just today that 2021 seems to be harder than 2020 because resources are already strained to begin with. Then all the more that it is strained even further today because
Okay.
we've been in this situation for a prolonged period of time. And the the future doesn't seem definite pa or predictable given so many things happening. And
Correct.
yun, actually not just for worship Gen Pat and B, but for ever since we started doing business, this pandemic has been the biggest challenge.
Right.
Uncertainty is the number one challenge. Number two is the limited resources that we have. And number three, how do we project the business to the future given that we are mall based
Yeah.
Mm.
and our customers are oftentimes in large events. In the case of Ateneo, it's UAAP games. In the case of
Yeah.
Worship Generation, it's concerts and church gatherings.
Not jescom.
Diba? So, and yun nga, psychologically and spiritually, I'm really thankful that um, e- ever since I exposed myself to Ateneo, I have been also exposed to people who have helped me perhaps to face this situation with more resources and more balance than kung hindi ko na-meet yung mga taong na-meet ko in Ateneo and in Manila. And foremost naman kayong dalawa doon. Um, I can catch myself sometimes doing things na, saan ko nga ba ito natutunan? Ba't ko ito ginagawa? And those things really help.
Yeah.
Worship Gen helped kasi parang it really was it really was and still is the business that has changed the trajectory of my life radically in terms of in terms of finding the purpose of what you're doing, discovering the God who who is the source and the end of your calling, ganyan.
Yeah.
And syempre, kung practical ka lang if you don't believe in spirituality so much, the practicality of a belief in God is that you can rest a little bit easier knowing that God has the future planned out and
Yeah.
you don't have to be Atlas and carry the world on your shoulders literally.
Yeah. Yeah. Now that's an interesting take because I think recently I had a conversation with, let's call this person a friend, lang, about the whole idea or the whole point of, I think, religion. And for the most part, I wasn't like in a capacity to evangelize necessarily this person. So I was kind of attacking it from a perspective of maybe pragmatism or practicality na parang, okay, well, if you're not really necessarily sold on the whole idea of like theology or theistic um belief or a theistic belief system, you can think about it from like a practical point of view that there's security to be found in kind of practicing or holding on to this set of beliefs, because then it kind of sets a direction in some form or in some way to what life can be. You have a system of morality and you have an explanation for why things are the way they are. So I mean, so I guess
Mhm.
this is me connecting with the whole like practicality of spirituality and religion as opposed to otherwise. So wala lang. So connect lang talaga. Um I guess another thing that is an interesting or has always been an interesting conversation with you was what has always been about, well, your faith and how protective your faith is for your, I guess, your mental well-being. So if it's okay, could you talk a little bit more about that too?
Yeah, because you know, pa, uh, it's a reality naman that we will face things that will overwhelm us, things that will not make sense, things that are so sudden and so life changing, like the death of my mom recently. Na I wouldn't know how to handle it. I wouldn't know how to deal with it if not for the spirituality that I think and I consider a gift from God and from so many people. I guess what it gives you kasi is a way of looking at and living life with bookends. And that's a favorite metaphor that I have. So
Yeah.
parang it's a bookend. Bookend in the sense that it sets a beginning point. Na God is the source of everything. God is the giver. God is the provider. And the other bookend is that which makes sure that your life doesn't fall apart, that there's an end to it, that all things hold together. And in the end, the God who created the world and the universe can surely take care of a life as small yet important as yours.
Yeah.
So many people that I've talked with, shared faith journey with the difficulty in facing the many problems that face us from COVID to personal loss to financial problems to strained relationships is the thought and the feeling sometimes of being alone, of not having someone who sees you, not having someone who truly understands what you're going through, and that parang hindi ka pwedeng mag-blurt out at mag-vent out sa taong yun. Kasi in the first place, wala namang pag-vent outan. Wala namang makakaintindi. And people will always come into the picture with lenses of judgment, of preconceived notions, of biases. What my faith as I have journeyed so far has revealed to me is that He's a God who in the Bible is called El Roy, di ba? He's a God who sees.
Yeah.
And He sees what you're going through, what I'm going through, what everyone is going through. And He understands it because Jesus Himself, though He was in the form of God, did not take it upon Himself to be God, but actually humbled Himself to be like us to the point of death. So parang never kong masasabihan si God, oh, hindi mo naman ako gets eh. Or never ko siyang what's the Tagalog term for that? Ilonggo na ako dito, medyo minsan I find it hard to find the Tagalog words. I could never tell him na you don't understand me, that you don't know what I'm going through, that you're so distant from me, that you're just there chilling while I'm here suffering. Because He's a God who actually entered our world and suffered much more. If not an answer, my my journey in faith has revealed to me that I have a God who understands, sees, holds my hand, comforts, and ultimately will embrace.
Yeah.
And that has been a source of ano ba, of stability and uh, level-headedness, you might call it.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I'm gonna use your metaphor. I mean, I'm just listening here. It's always a joy to listen to you, Kirk. Kahit sa
Diba?
convention pa yan, para okay, tatahimik na lang ako dito. I will just let Kirk speak. But yeah, I mean, I actually like the metaphor of the bookends. How it's holding you or giving you like what you said, like stability, leaning to God and leaning to your faith as well. I'm just really curious, and I think our audiences also are curious from the how do you do it? Like what are like the practical things or the everyday things that you do to like keep that hold, that stability, not let each end fall. Kasi sometimes, di ba, pag airbook is nakaganyan lang siya, move mo ng konti, okay, masasandal, magiging shaky, and then, everything will fumble. So what do you do to like, keep it intact and like be the ultimate bookend in your life?
Sige, let's try to stay with the metaphor, no? Tawag dito. Hindi, in my spiritual community kasi, with my friends whom I meet regularly, just to do life with, we have a term called multiple anchoring. We strive to have multiple anchors. because life will bring us wherever, different directions. So it's great to have multiple anchors in different seasons, parts of our lives. Of course, the ultimate anchor is our faith in Jesus. It is said naman na parang our faith is like the anchor of our soul, di ba?
Yeah.
In Hebrews. So parang, eto, so going back to the multiple anchoring, yun, so parang, uh, these are conversations and these are people with whom you can really talk about the deep stuff. It's a group of people or a set of friends na weird in a way na hindi kayo nag-gather para mag quote-unquote magpataasan ng ihi or magpayabangan.
Yeah.
But it's a weird thing because it is a group of people that you precisely meet because you're comfortable in talking to them about your struggles,
Yeah.
about the things that bother you. And in the end, this group of people will pray for you and will encourage you. So I think life changing pag may ganong support system that you can come as you are. And these people will be there to help you and to journey with you. Another thing is, speaking of bookends, I try my best also not to have too many books inside.
Yes. Okay.
That's
Good.
my way of saying parang choose your battles
Right.
kasi hindi naman kayang lahat ang pinin mo or harapin mo. Parang just know which is important. And even if everything is important, parang hindi naman yan all the time. At any given time, kailangan mo harapin.
Yeah.
Yun.
It's very humbling to hear again. Like okay, sige, like what you mentioned about like if you can gather like to lift yourself up or like show them how shiny you are or how great you are your achievement. It's very humbling that before I'm just guessing that how before you meet with a group you're already thinking of your own like struggles, and it's very humbling for you to one admit the struggle that you are
Mhm.
struggling, because that's I mean not everybody can do it, I guess. So I really admire that. And second, na mas admiring is to be able to share that struggle with another person and not really focus on like doubts and judgments in your head. And it's a very open, it's a very, I think, yeah, it's like a group hug. You know, like a virtual group hug,
Yeah.
literally, where you share your struggle, and at the same time, you as a listener, you could also accept others other struggle and
Yeah.
acknowledge it,
Yeah.
and
and speak for it. More importantly, so yeah.
and I think Pat and B, I'm sure parang the times when we were so overwhelmed kasi the times when we are so as in wow, sobrang dami are the
Yeah.
times na wala tayong mapagkukwentuhan, wala tayong mapag-vent outan.
Mhm.
Hindi na-release yung pent up frustrations, anger, emotions that we have. So you can have that in friends or through
Yeah.
friends. Or another thing would be activities. Like sana constructive activities. Kasi
Right.
there might be some activities also na pwedeng outlet pero pwedeng destructive, sorry.
Yeah. I think one of the things that sticks with me really from what you said is that that God is a God who sees, and that God sees you, sees your struggle, and and through Jesus has also experienced your struggle. And it boils down to, or it really goes back to the whole idea that one of the, or if not one, two of the basic things really that we need as human beings, or that we crave, if ever, if not need, is really to be perceived, which means to be seen and heard. And I guess that kind of cuts across also to the idea that when you have friends, or when you have people who can journey with you or accompany you through what it is that you're going through, and your friends are able to effectively see and hear you, then it makes it all the more, I guess, encouraging, or all the more, the easier to, I guess, walk through as compared to if you were to do it by yourself.
Mhm.
So
Kasi para rin silang nagiging bookend within the bookend.
yeah,
Kasi you know each
stabilizers mga
other.
ganyan.
Yeah,
Tsaka,
reinforcement.
tsaka na-realize ko pa, Chubby, na important na may friends kang hindi believe sa'yo. And what I mean is,
What?
what I mean is,
That, yeah.
as mostly for us Athenians, no? I mean, people look at us a little bit highly because of our education, because of our association, because of our privilege, our background.
Yeah.
And oftentimes, especially sa mga friends natin sa workplace or even day-to-day friends, nauunahan nung ganung reputation na hindi na tayo mapagsasabihan ng mga bagay na kailangan nating marinig. When I say friends na hindi believe sa'yo, ito yung friends na pwede kang batukan. Na, huy, mais ka pa. Huy, mais ka, B, ganyan. Yung parang, they don't care about what you've done, what you've built, what you've accomplished. They just know you as Pat, as Kirk, as B.
Yeah, actually, yeah, we all need those friends who would be like, diba, a friend enough to tell you if you are doing something against your own nature.
Yeah.
Or against, out of character. And
Yeah.
sabi nga, sorry, sobrang, ang ganda lang nung timing. Kasi I was talking to Sister Bubbles the other week. Kasi medyo ganyan yung sinabi niya, na parang, dapat, you surround yourself with people and friends na kaya kang pagalitan.
Mm-mm.
At the willing kang pagalitan. So, yeah.
At although hindi hindi masayang proseso. I mean, I had very close friends reprimand me, and it was so convicting. And na-realize ko na totoo pala yung sinasabi sa Bible na, ano nga ba yun? Christ did not come to condemn us, but to love us. Buti na lang, there's no condemnation in Christ Jesus. Ganyan.
I realized then kasi that's the job really naman of a true friend, diba? And it's biblical also, diba? Fraternal correction is one of the responsibilities of people who love you really, and who so no, absolutely. I think it's really, really important for people to have like true, really, really frank and very, very straightforward friends who, as you know, apart from being able to just listen and journey with you, but can also be like upfront with you na parang, mais ka.
Yeah.
Ikaw yan.
Yeah. And of course, you know that he or she is a friend. Now, what he would say or she would say would always comes from a place of love, a place of care, a place of faith even sometimes.
Yeah. Sarap.
Inhale. Exhale.
Sarap, no? Sabi ko na tamang desisyon na i-guess natin si Kirk eh. Kirk, may idea kami. This isn't the last time you're gonna guest with us. Next, hindi naman siguro next week. Abuso na eh. No? Pero like,
June?
pwede June, pwede next month.
Basta may kape, okay ako.
Padala na tayo ng kape. Ano bang address ko?
No, but we have a person in mind. Siguro i-guest muna namin siya by themselves. Vega. By themselves. Tapos, saka namin kayo i-tatandem guesting. Pero, pag-isipan muna namin. But no, I mean, seriously, this is, again, it's always such a joy. Just even like unstructuredly conversing and having a chat with you, and wala, parang sarap lang. If I may ask, and you are free to answer in any as vague or as abstract or as specific as you want, where's or how is your heart now? In this season, in this time?
Medyo there's peace in spite of everything, in the face of everything. But it's different, it's complex.
Okay.
Iba-ibang emotions kasi. There's grief from loss. There's still shock from, wala na yung mom ko. There's fear and uncertainty because of the future of the business. There's also longing and desire for the things that I want to do for my own personal life. There's also concern for the people around me and even for ano mangyayari sa Pilipinas in the face of COVID. There's of course there's fun and joy from different people in my life. So halo-halo Pat. It's not a showbiz answer. It's
No,
complicated talaga.
thank you.
It's a
Thank you.
it's a mix of it's a mixed bag of nuts. So may green peas, may cashew, may almonds, may salted nuts, may pakwan, may pistachio.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll take that. But no, so um there's peace, but there's stability amidst all of the chaos and all of the complexities. And I guess what is it or what has been helping kind of keep that together? I mean, I'm sure one of the things really is faith and your spirituality and your friends. But what is there anything else that you're doing that kind of helps keep you together? By the way, Cassie says hi.
Oh, hi, Kathy. Hello.
Naiwan siya sa akin. Pero okay lang.
Hi. Last year kasi, I distinctly remember a podcast I was listening to from a fellow Athenian, si Joseph Bonifacio. And he was talking about how stress and anxiety puts us in a position where we only see two options, either the super good or the super bad. And we have the natural tendency to highlight and to look at the super bad. Therefore, it adds stress to our lives. He said something like the first task of a leader or the first task of a human person is to lower the anxiety of your soul so that you can see more than two options. Like kumari, sa mga tao namin lagi, sa mga tao namin sa business, lagi kong naririnig na pag nag-away daw sila ng asawa niya, stress sila kasi maghihiwalay na sila. So my business partner and I would say and talk na parang, hala, hiwalay agad? Initially, sabi ko, influence ito ng Filipino teleserye. May mga pelikula na pag-away, hiwalay agad. But then when I heard the podcast, na-realize ko na, they come from a point of anxiety, from a place of anxiety pala. And they only see two options. Super make up kami and all will be well. Or super lalala at maghihiwalay kami, isira buhay ko. So, that mindset has helped me immensely since last year. That whenever I face difficulty or something that troubles me or something that makes me anxious, parang kalma muna. And then you'll see that there are other more practical, more doable options that emerge. So that's one. And I would like to thank Joseph Bonifacio for that. Number two would be to do activities that are not, there's a technical term for this, avocation. You do something that you don't normally do. So let's say I go to the office almost every day for the business. Now suddenly I tended two plants. Here in Iloilo, my dad and I are taking care of fishes. And this explains why sometimes washing the dishes can be very relaxing and de-stressing. Kasi nga, it's something different. And then yun. So yun. And then number three, parang, of course, I just watch Netflix also till the wee hours of the night. I mean, I binge watch, I binge eat, ganyan. So parang, hindi naman pwedeng walang mga ganon. So, if when I say multiple anchorings kanina, I used to tell my mom also, na parang imagine there's a trapal, there's a tent. You need multiple postes.
Yeah.
Multiple kawayans na mag-hold yan. Otherwise, hindi kakayanin ng isa. Yun.
Salamat.
That's,
Sorry.
that's beautiful.
You're welcome,
Oo.
Casey.
She says thank you.
Ayan sa mic.
Oo nga. But that was beautiful, Kirk. And like, thank you for sharing that. And we're always praying for you, for your heart.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For
Saka
your
I failed to mention pala, I mean, you are two of the people na go-to people ko sa mga bagay-bagay. So, yun. Thank you. I want to publicly say thank you to you.
So, hindi lang pala ikaw yung friend namin. Friend din namin. Friend din kami mo.
Ha?
Complicated. Basta we are friends. Okay na yan.
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
It's mutually beneficial. It's all. No, so quieting the anxiety of the soul and expanding the perception to accommodate more than just the extreme options.
Mm-hmm.
That's a quotable quote from Mr. Kirk Damasco for tonight. But that's so true, no? It's very often, or it's very frequent, that when we find ourselves in very dire situations, it's always one end of the spectrum versus the other, and we fail to kind of find that middle ground. So grounding in this sense is not just about grounding in any specific like present moment thing, but really grounding in the middle ground also is also very helpful. So thank you.
Saka
Thank you for that
Pat,
wisdom, sir.
if you wanna apply to spirituality also. Syempre, we should not, and we could not limit God to just two options. I mean, surely He's a God of creativity, a God of possibilities. He will not, and God of the infinite, and He will not be bound by just the two options that we ourselves prescribe.
Amen. That's right.
Ganda. I am enjoying this. We should have a part 2 and part 3.
And multiple parts. So monthly segment na
Kape
to
lang.
is
Kape lang.
kwentuhan and kamustahan with Kuya Kirk.
Hindi na nga kwentuhan, di ba?
And kapehan.
Kape lang.
5Ks na siya. Kapehan, kwentuhan, kumustahan with Kuya Kirk. Okay lang ba yun sa'yo, Kirk?
Okay lang yun. Sa'yo pa.
Istorbohin ka namin multiple.
It's,
no problem.
We promise that you will benefit from this also, more than just additional coffee tips. So.
Okay. I look forward to how that's gonna turn out.
Si B alam na din niya eh. Pinag-usapan na namin to kanina. Pero sige.
Hala.
Alin yung kapihan? Iba pala. But yeah, okay. Ang galing. Siguro before we say goodbye, so ayoko siya. Parang pwede pa tayo mag-extend ng 30 minutes na. I'm kidding. Probably last message probably. Or like, unless Patrick, may tatanong ka pa ba? Cassie!
Words, Kirk. Final, parang last or summative insight for tonight's episode.
Summative, big word. Hindi ako the things I've shared and the things I've learned, hindi naman akin yun eh. I mean, it's not me who came up with those things. I'm sure I have heard it, seen it, listened to it, read it from people I have encountered and people I made it a point to encounter myself. So siguro parang be proactive also in for our health, for our spiritual health, for our mental health, for our physical health. Sabi nga sa diba? Sabi nga sa Harry Potter, help will always be given to Hogwarts for those who ask for it. So let's ask for help. Let's learn. Let's exert effort to learn new things, to expose ourselves to new things, new people, new experiences. In other words, parang let's live life. Don't just stay in one corner. Kasi sayang. And in the process, you learn about the world, others, and you'll be better.
Amen.
Amen.
No.
Amen.
Ika nga nung stranger natin last week. Keep on learning. Keep on
Yes.
growing.
Keep on growing.
Oo.
And
Oh,
keep
may
it up.
insight daw si Cassie. Cassie, what? May sinasabi siya kanina. Oh.
Birthday words.
Hey, Cassie, have you had dinner na?
Oo. Different types of dinner.
Oo.
Yun lang.
Wag mong patulugin si daddy mo tonight. Gantihan mo sa mga pagpapahirap mo sa
No, Kirk, really, from the bottom. Okay.
Yes.
From the bottom of our hearts, really thankful for your wisdom, your presence, and your friendship. So thanks for being with us
Thank
tonight.
you.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
My pleasure. Anytime, guys. Anytime.
Anytime daw, B. O sige, next week.
Anytime.
Tatlo na tayo dito na spot. Hindi na to minded. It's 5Ks na.
We should give Kirk a spot, no? On not on MindEd specifically, pero on RK.
Yeah. James, narinig mo yun?
Hinay-hinay naman, guys.
Just kidding. Again, but seriously, thank you. Thanks, Kirk.
No, thank you.
And thanks,
Thank
B,
you, everyone.
for sitting with me through this. Wait lang. Si Cassie nagwawala.
Okay.
Close us out. Thank you.
Okay, Cassie, we're gonna stop now. We promise.
Alright, sige, let's do the outro. Thank you so much again, Kirk. Thank you, Patrick. This has been MindEd, your weekly slice of mental health tips and tidbits. My name is B. I am still a letter.
My name is Pat. I'm going to mute.
And we have Kirk. Thank you again, Kirk. See you next week.
See you.
Spirit fingers. We have this, I don't know what this is called, pero hindi ko rin alam kung bakit. I don't know. Pauso ni Patrick to. And cue out.
Let us understand mental health and explore how we can take care of our emotional, psychological, and social well-being. Welcome to your weekly slice of mental health tips and tidbits with Pat and B, here on MindEd.
Sa'yo sumisilong kapag ang puso ko